Hello, this is Kinsey and welcome to a new series of videos talking about my plastic surgery experience. I am looking at getting lipo in my lower abdomen area. I have never had any plastic surgery before and I want to take everyone along with me on this journey because I feel like a lot of beauty YouTubers talk about their experience in a way where they expect you to know everything and I definitely don't. So I want to hopefully answer your questions, get my questions answered, and show this process as someone who is very out of their depth. This is also a little mini clip because I forgot to record my own intro before this. So this should only be 6 or 7 minutes of me explaining the consultation, and you'll get to see the whole process with me. All right. So I'm going to take a couple of minutes to talk about why I'm considering liposuction and what the whole thought process has been like. So I've always been really insecure over my lower stomach area. I'm sure I can insert some photos somewhere. And most people look at it and be like, oh, it's fine, what are you doing? And that's kind of the response I've gotten when I've talked to anybody about getting liposuction, is they go, oh, you look fine. But that's really not the point, and I've never told anyone, oh, I'm thinking of getting liposuction because I want them to, pat me on the head and, be like, oh, but you're so pretty. No, I want people to listen. Because I've just always been insecure, and I can remember being, 6, 7, and having my cousin be like, poke, poke, why are you so fat right there? And I was like, what? And it really upset me in that moment as a kid because I didn't think I was fat, and I also didn't see why that was a bad thing, but the way he said it, even as a kid, it was very clear to me that he didn't mean it in a nice way. And obviously my grandma who was there was obviously like, stop that. And he got yelled at and never said it again. He's the sweetest guy. But the insecurity kind of stuck with me. And I've worked out, I've dieted, I've done all of these things, and I know you can't spot target diets or working out. And I just tend to gain more weight, kind of from the rib cage down. I'm a pear. Thanks, Mom. So I want to look into this just because I think it would raise my self-esteem to, not fix, but, this insecurity that I have. So I guess that's kind of my reasoning. And now, if you're against plastic surgery for you, okay, live your life. And if you're getting plastic surgery because you, hate your body, or there's a lot of, self-negativity, maybe talk that out with somebody before you make this decision. But I've done a lot of thinking on this and a lot of processing, and I think this could be a really good option for me. We'll have to see what the doctor says. I'm bringing some questions with me when I go in, but we'll see. I am back. It is 3 days later from when I got the consultation because it was late and I have a job, so I was a little busy. So I want to tell you how the consultation went, so maybe you know what to expect when you go in. When I got there, I checked in, they were super nice. I had to fill out some background information on my, past physical health and family history. I went in, waited in the rooms, and when the doctor came in, he goes, okay, hi. What are you looking for? Talk to me about what my goals were, what I wanted, what I didn't want. Mostly he just sat and listened. He asked a couple questions to clarify. We talked a little bit about my motivations for getting it. I strongly suspect it was a little bit of kind of keeping an eye out for mental health, but he felt like I was being reasonable and that I had good goals. He really appreciated that the whole reason I was looking for it is because I have kind of stubborn fat that has not moved with exercise or diet or anything else that I've tried. And he goes, this is reasonable. He goes, it's something that you have tried to work on and it hasn't been working, so you're just looking for an alternative solution. I really appreciated that. He was so nice. the next step was I got dressed, got into a robe down to kind of bra and underwear, and then he looked at my body, at the areas I was talking about, and it was a conversation between me and him, and then also his nurse who was taking notes as far as what we would be doing and looking for the procedure. I was worried I would be uncomfortable being very, not quite naked, but vulnerable in front of a doctor. I was worried I would be judged, or he would be like, oh, let's work on this, this, and this. But that's not what it was at all. He was so respectful. I was like, okay, we want to work on the lower abdominal area. He also talked to me about wanting to take some off of just my sides and waist. He goes, hey, if we take things off this area, it's going to look more dramatic and more cohesive than just taking off this area. He was so nice and very clear about what to expect. So if you're watching the first part, I want to talk about the answers that I was given. So first off, as far as recovery time, he said that there's some people who go and you are for sure going to be off the day after because you are under anesthesia. He goes, then within 3 to 4 days, you could probably be back to work, with the kind of disclaimer that you may not want to be. There's some people who do it really well and they're like, okay, ready to go. There's other people who want to take that whole next week to just rest and repair. Part of the cost of the actual surgery would include aftercare as far as visits for follow-up and garments that you would be wearing, because you have to wear a compression garment to make sure that you're healing and everything's like cinched in. Let me think here. They do offer financing. I'm probably going to go for that route because I can probably get a money back or interest-free credit. That could potentially save me some money. I didn't really have a ton of other questions because he just really went over things really thoroughly. He is booked out pretty far. So it's December right now. We're probably looking at January to even early February to actually do this procedure. I will have to have someone to take care of me. So it'll either be my husband or maybe my roommate Emma, who you've seen in past videos, to help me out, to do things like go to the bathroom, get out of my compression garments, and just help me manage for the first couple of days. He also mentioned that scarring normally isn't super bad. You just have the little incisions. Some people do scar. It does lighten up over time, but it is something just to be aware of, that's a potential. Another thing he asked me is if I'd ever had kids, because that can sometimes compromise the skin elasticity in your stomach, which then would require a tummy tuck rather than just lipo, which I didn't know, but don't plan on it, so that should be fine. The thing that I also found really exciting and interesting is from what people have said and kind of he said is that this is a semi-permanent option because it's actually removing the fat cells from those areas. So there's not fat cells for your body just to refill. So obviously if I gain weight, I gain weight everywhere. So I could lose that definition, but I'm not necessarily going to get the weird lumps or uneven fat dispersal that I've been getting just naturally because of how my body is shaped. Super comfortable process. Everyone was really nice. If anyone out here is watching this and is nervous about going, just check it out. Because if for some reason you go to a doctor and they make you uncomfortable or feel judged, run for the hills. Because that was not my experience. He was so great. So right now, the second day he sent me photos that they had taken and then photoshopped to model what the supposed results would be like. Not sure if I'm going to post those on here just because they are me in my underwear, so I'll probably post some pictures of just me in workout stuff so you can see what we're working on, so I can show you a good before and after. Maybe I'll show those, the real before and after rather than the Photoshop. But after seeing those, I contacted them, said I was so interested. It looks great. He is trying to currently talk me into a butt lift, which would have a little bit more complicated recovery because I wouldn't be allowed to sit in order to the fat transfer takes. So the idea would be to take fat from my stomach, pull a little bit in my hips, but I'm still iffy on that. Yeah, that also the garments are ridiculous for the butt lift because it's not compression, it's a compression garment with just your butt out. But but I think it could look really good. I think that's kind of it as far as the consultation. It was $100 as far as the consultation fee. That consultation fee will then go towards my procedure. Obviously, if I decided not to get the procedure, then I would just be out that $100, and I've paid that because I'm taking his time for the consultation. It's pretty reasonable. So I will keep doing updates on how I feel, what's going on, as I get things scheduled, probably the day of, day after, in this whole process. So if you want to follow me doing this, please hit that like and subscribe button and turn on the bell notification so you know when I am posting. Look out for more plastic surgery videos. You'll also see a mishmash of other things, but if you don't like it, hit that dislike button. I'll take any attention I can get. And that is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next video.